Hi guys, this is a video to basically tell you everything you need to know about the tyre pressure monitoring systems, how to replace a valve and relearn obviously a faulty valve or a new valve on a Ford B-Max, Ford Fiesta, Ford Focus, possibly other models as well. But basically this car is a 2016 Ford B-Max that had a failed rear passenger tyre pressure monitoring sensor. That's the valve and sensor combined obviously. I was pulling up an error on the dash with the tyre pressure monitoring system light, and on the central console a message said tyre pressure sensors not detected. Okay, so generally the cause of the issue is a battery has failed in the sensor on the tyre valve. If a car's about 6-7 year old like this one is, it's obviously the batteries can wear out about that time, okay, and that's when the problem occurs. Now, if you put your ignition on, you can see the tyre pressure monitoring light in the top centre. It's like a little flat tyre with an exclamation mark, okay? That tells you when your tyre pressures are low. So you don't need to put air in a tyre to get them pumped back up. And if it comes back on, you know you've got a puncture, slow puncture, you need to get that addressed. And obviously it stays on and you get a message in the central display saying about the sensors not detected. That generally is going to be a battery failure or a damaged sensor, okay? So it's not expensive to do yourself. It can be expensive if you take it to a main dealer possibly, or other garages, you know, like lots of things with cars. It depends where you take it, but you can get things done cheaper yourself sometimes, and this is a relatively easy job, okay? So, to find out which sensor has failed, if you're getting the light on and the message in the display, you need to purchase one of these on Amazon. Be specific, say Ford tyre pressure monitoring sensor relearn tool. You have to type in the make obviously because they need to know which one you're purchasing. This one cost me around £12, okay, not expensive, but it's absolutely critical for you to be able to distinguish which one has failed, but also once you get the new valve fitted to the wheel, to relearn it as well, alright? This is where the costs come in probably for garages to do this. It's a 2-second job, but they're charging you probably a lot for having to do this process, but it's not hard, okay? So, as we've said, you've got your light on in your dash and you've got your message on there, so you know you've got an issue. So, to find out which one's faulty, if you jump into the car with the ignition off, we need to put the car into like a relearn mode to be able to find out which one's faulty first, okay? So to do this with the ignition off, the brake pedal, you have to obviously press the brake pedal down once, release, okay? And then we turn the ignition on, off, on, off, on, okay? For the third time, and you leave the ignition on. Obviously all the lights are on the dash. And then, the next step then, we need to press the brake pedal down again once more, okay? And then on the ignition key, off, on, off, on, off, on, okay? When you turn it on for the third time, the car will beep the horn, beep, and that tells you the car's in the relearn mode, okay? So, what we then do then, we get our little relearn tool, and in the central display of the car now, there'll be a message saying front left tyre. Okay, that's telling you need to go to the front left tyre to relearn that one first. So, if you take this to the front left tyre of the car outside, you hold down the button so that the red light comes on, okay? Right next to the sensor, the valve on the wheel, okay? What will happen if the valve sensor is working correctly and is picked up, the car horn will beep once, okay? Then in the display on the car, you'll notice it says front right tyre, okay? And that's telling you to go to the front right tyre, hold this against the valve, okay? Press the button once, the red light comes on, and again, if it's picked up, beep, the horn of the car goes off, and that tyre sensor is relearned. Then it says on the display, go to the rear right side, the driver's side tyre, okay? And do the same thing again, press this, it lights up. Check the rear driver's tyre. If that beeps, that's fine. Now on this car, the rear passenger tyre valve had failed, okay? So go to the next message on the screen will say rear passenger side or rear left side. You go to that one, and I pressed this on here, and red light came on, but there was no beep from the horn of the car. So I knew then that valve sensor had failed, okay? So that's why my light was on my dash and my message was showing on the central unit as well, okay? So we knew then that was the one that had failed. I purchased a new tyre pressure sensor valve on eBay. Cost about 10 to 12 quid. Again, you have to be specific. The retailer will ask you for the make, model, year of the car to get the specific correct tyre valve and sensor. Comes as a complete unit, all right? So that gets sent out in the post and arrives. And when you get it, you want take it to your local tyre shop, tyre fitter. Say, in this case, my rear passenger tyre valve and sensors fail. Can you replace it for me? They whip the tyre off the rim, put the new valve in. Relatively quick and simple job. And charge you the cost for the replacement of the valve, which could be between £8 to £20 depending on the tyre shop, okay? So once that's done, you've got your new valve fitted in your tyre. The same process then is carried out to relearn the new sensor to the car. So as we said before, sit in the car, ignition off, press the brake pedal once, okay? And then ignition key on to 2 clicks, off, on, off, on, okay? All the lights lit up on the ignition. Next step then, as we said, press the brake pedal down once, ignition off, on, off, on, off, on. On the third occasion, the car bleeps the horn, beep, and then you're in the relearn mode again, okay? And again, on the central display, you'll then get the message, front left tyre first. You go outside, you do your front left tyre, lights up, wait for it to be detected, car horn blows. Driver's side tyre, press this again, light comes on, wait, car horn blows, that one's picked up. Go to the driver's rear, this again, press the button, lights up, picks up the rear driver's tyre. Then, on this car, when I replaced the valve, I went to the passenger rear tyre, which is the last one in the system, and the menu tells you every time. Press this once, bleep, horn blows, and that's everything reprogrammed.